Planning and Zoning Commission is an independent advisory board or advisory body of the City of Ames City Council. The Planning and Zoning Commission members are volunteers of the community and not part of the city administration. The Planning and Zoning Commission is supported by staff from the city's planning division. The commission is responsible for recommendations on matters involving subdivisions, annexations, master plans, and major site development plans, amendments to the zoning ordinance, and comprehensive plan amendments. We make our recommendations based on city codes, the facts presented, and input from the public. As an advisory commission, we welcome all comments regarding the proposed item. Please direct your comments to the commission. If the proceedings become lengthy, we may ask that comments be focused on new information not previously presented. You may speak only once on an agenda item. If you wish to speak, please fill out a speaker information card and present it to the recording secretary. We ask that you come to the microphone to speak so that all comments may be recorded. The order of the proceeding for each item on the agenda will be as follows. City staff will present the staff report regarding the agenda item. Commission members will have an opportunity to ask questions of city staff. The applicant will be invited to make a statement regarding the request. Commission members will have an opportunity to ask questions of the applicant. Members of the audience will be invited to come forward to offer comments and questions. And once public comment is closed, the city staff and the applicant will have an opportunity for concluding remarks. The commission will discuss the application based on all presentations and any comments given and come to a recommendation for the city council. The discussion may include further questions of city staff and the applicant for clarification. And with that, we will move on to the first item on the agenda. And we will have the introduction of the committee members.
Cheryl Moss.
Mike Sullivan.
Mike LaPetra.
Mike Clayton.
Matthew Voss.
And Jim Blickensdorf.
Okay. Do we have approval of the agenda?
Move to approve the agenda from May 5th, for this meeting, June 19th.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And approval of the minutes of May 15th, 2024. We have a motion to approve the minutes.
Move approval. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And we now have the public forum. Somebody would like, a member of the public would like to come up and speak about something that is not on tonight's agenda. Okay, so we will move into the public hearing on a major site development plan for Dunkin' Donuts at 209 Lincoln Way.
Good evening. So this is a partial redevelopment of 209 Lincoln Way. As you all might be familiar, this is the former Burger King location. So they are reusing a portion of that building. Up here on the screen, I have the demo plan. So you can see that play structure that's on the front, the south side with the Lincoln Way frontage will be removed, and the parking lot will be completely removed and reconstructed as well. This property is in our downtown Gateway commercial zoning district. I put the map up on the screen so you can kind of see contextually how it is located with regards to Main Street. So this zoning district was created to both enhance the streetscape of the Lincoln Way corridor and be complementary in terms of uses and design to the broader downtown area. This is our first redevelopment in that zoning district. The zoning district is geared towards encouraging redevelopment. And as a redevelopment site, there are several nonconformities that were discussed in your staff report. The applicant has made great efforts to come into compliance with most of our standards, including front yard landscaping. So you can see this is the landscaping plan. They're proposing front yard trees on both the Sherman and Lincoln Way frontages in compliance with our requirements. Parking lot trees, they're preserving several existing trees and also adding several trees to provide coverage of the parking area. These are the elevation drawings. So on the facades that are new, for instance, this is the Lincoln Way facade, where the play structure will be removed. They're meeting our glazing and architectural standards for the zoning district, where we have high levels of glazing to encourage interface with pedestrians. They're adding a parapet to the building, as well as a canopy to add architectural interest, which is one of our DGC standards. But they all are also requesting a few waivers and alternatives to make the redevelopment site work. The first is a reduction in the required parking spaces from 27 to 24, which is allowed in our DGC district specifically because we might have more pedestrian activity with that proximity to downtown. And we do also have required bike parking in the DGC district. They're also requesting a 20% reduction for the driveway setback from this alley to the north. The driveway is required to be 5 feet from the alley. They're proposing that it be 4. Right now, it varies from 5 feet to 2 feet due to a prior issued variance. They are, however, with this reduction proposing to have a curb, so an actual physical separation and a landscaping bed there. So staff feels that council can grant that waiver. I will just note that waiver is a new ordinance that you all recently heard to allow a 20% reduction. So that's how that in numeric standards in our code. So that's how that driveway setback will be issue will be handled. This site plan will go to council after their final reading of that new ordinance. And the final note I have on this site plan is they are proposing a new sidewalk on Sherman. It's shown in the site plans. However, due to the location of power poles on the north side and the south side, you can see the sidewalk kind of will need an easement for those areas. Applicant may request a waiver of the sidewalk requirement by city council due to the fact that with this alley here, we have an accessible receiving end on the north end, and the other issues with the power poles in the areas, and they can't reroute it elsewhere. So we would need the property owners to the north to be amenable to that installation of a receiving end. They have reached out. The property to the owner of the north is the state of Iowa Department of Corrections. So there might be a process there. So a waiver by council for this sidewalk could be granted and justified. Staff did find that all the major site development plan standards, DGC zoning standards, and general development standards were met, besides those non-conformities that are allowed to remain on the site, including the size of some of the parking stalls. Ending that the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend, including conditions that those waivers and alternatives are granted. A plat of survey is recorded for the property. We review a lighting plan for the property when that is available, and we get that easement over the sidewalk as it kind of jogs onto private property. So I'm happy to take questions, and the applicant is also here.
Anyone have any questions?
So I was just going to ask, so if we were to recommend alternative 1, it would be contingent on the zoning ordinance change going through in
That's correct.
July?
Yep.
Okay.
The
Third-
25th.
Third reading is tomorrow, the 25th of June, and it would then be effective by July 1st, and council scheduled to see this on July 9th.
In the motion, would we want to state that those first 2 bullets would be pending council approval? Or is that,
Only the
or is that
second-
assumed?
Only the second reduction is pending council approval.
Okay,
Typically, in the past, when we've done this, we haven't necessarily stated that if that ordinance didn't go through, which it has been approved on 2 readings so far, they would need to comply with the standards or get a variance, some other mechanism. We couldn't approve a non-compliant site plan.
okay.
And we're just recommending.
Mhm.
We're not.
Any other questions? No? Would the applicant like to come forward and make a statement?
Good evening. My name is Pete Paraskis. I'm the architect on the project representing the owners. Thank you very much for allowing us to, I guess, be the first person to try to be in this redevelopment area. We're kind of excited about it. We've worked on projects like this in the past in urban areas where some of these buildings, they need attention, and so does the site. And we understand that the key point is to revitalize, and we've had a lot of success. These owners are committed to moving forward on it. I think it's a pretty decent project. The playground had to go from the very beginning, that albatross. So once that's gone, I think everybody will be pleased with the final result. That's about it. Any questions?
I have one. Did you fill out a speaker's card?
Yes, I did.
Thank you. Okay, does anyone, I'm assuming you're together? Okay. All right. Do we have a motion?
So one other thing I just wanted to mention, just as a comment, I guess, on it. The indoor playground that was there with Burger King, I will say, as a parent with young children, there were not many places in Ames indoor in the winter for children to play, and we would make extensive use of that when that was open, and encourage other people looking at options for that in the future. If there's the possibility of doing more indoor play areas for children, that would be good. But it's good to see this property being utilized in a good way here with this
How
development.
long has that been closed down? I
I don't know.
lose
It's
track. Years?
It's been
Burger
like
King?
a year or two.
I mean, it's been 2 years, I think,
Yeah.
so since Burger King was open.
Mm-hmm.
I'd move approval of alternative one. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommends that the city council approve the major site development plan for 209 Lincoln Way for redevelopment of the site as Dunkin' Donuts, subject to the following alternative approvals and conditions. One, the allowance for a 10% reduction in the required number of parking spaces. Second, allowance property line. Third, prior to issuance of a building permit, a record of approval of plat survey. Fourth, prior to occupancy, the applicant shall submit for review and approval by the planning division an outdoor lighting plan that conforms to the zoning ordinance. And fifth, prior to occupancy, provide a sidewalk easement along Sherman Avenue for the construction of and the public use of the sidewalk.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Any general comments from the commission? No. Any staff comments?
We are canceling July 3rd, so enjoy the fireworks. And then we probably will tentatively we'll have the meeting on the July 17th.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
So move.
Meeting's adjourned. That was early.